Hello everyone and welcome to Katharine's Q&A, episode 11. Today we're doing a continuation on the question of what was the one big thing that I would suggest or recommend to a new author. And that is, it is never too early to start building a following. Today in particular, we're going to talk about newsletter builders. So you've created a newsletter, and now how do you get subscribers? Well, a newsletter builder and participating in one of these kind of events can help you greatly. What they are is kind of what they sound like. They help you build a list of subscribers. Now, how does it work? It's one of those pay-to-play kind of events. And so as an author, you buy into a newsletter builder. The cost is not that expensive. They usually range anything from $5. I've seen them go up to $50. That depends on a lot of things, including what is the prize that they're going to be giving out to people, since it's going to be sort of a raffle for entrants. It could also be if you're doing any add-ons. Some builders are only focused on building your newsletter, while others allow add-on options that help you funnel people to your BookBub account or your Instagram or Facebook. So again, that can all affect the price. For people, who are interested in, again, the money kind of goes into the grand prize. So you're pulling all these authors, it could be, let's say 20, maybe it's 100 authors participating. So all that money goes into a grand prize, and the grand prize could be the winner of the raffle gets 100 ebooks as well as a brand new e-reader, or it could be this amazing gift basket full of fun things that pertain to the theme. Newsletter builders usually have themes. So do pay attention to that and find a theme that kind of fits your genre. For instance, if you write mystery books, finding a newsletter builder or participating in one that's for fans of Sherlock Holmes might actually benefit you. Other themes could be something simple as young adult fantasy, which would be something I would participate in. So do pay attention about that. Builders may ask you to potentially donate a free ebook if you want. I always recommend this because the winner, let's say, gets your book, reads it, and likes it, then you now have a potential fan for going forward. If you are going to write a series, putting a first book of the series in is great because get them hooked early on and they will then go and buy the rest of the series. So again, it helps you with purchases down the line. And even if they, don't really buy right away, once they're in your newsletter, you can always coax them with fun new series in the future. So it never hurts to donate a book into that. Let's see. Going into my points, I'm just kind of checking everything, making sure I'm not missing anything for you guys. Okay. So how this works for people who are on the flip side. So this is going to take the form of a fun giant raffle. And again, the prizes is usually something very big, a little larger than maybe an independent author can afford on their own. So again, it's going to pull more interest. And entrants can, depending on how it's formulated, enter their email address in to have one entrance in the raffle. Other raffles have multiple parts where every author who's participating will have their independent newsletter, and maybe if you have add-ons, so like your Instagram, BookBub, what have you, all listed. And every time someone signs up to one of those things, that's another entrant into the raffle. So depending on how it's structured, it can go a little different ways for people. For the author, once it goes live, you do have some requirements. One, of course, is to share this raffle on your own newsletter. For people who are starting off, this gives you something to post in your newsletter, which is great. If it's multiple, especially the ones that are trying to funnel in multiple different socials, they usually also ask you, if you can, share as many times as you want on your own socials. And again, even if you're building up a new following, you don't have that many people, consider this. These newsletter builders, and maybe they have 50 authors participating, and everybody's sharing now on their social medias and their newsletters. So you're getting all this interest from people that you wouldn't typically have a reach to find them, and they're signing up, and you may be getting a lot of new followers that way. So Now, let's say the newsletter builder ends. What happens? Well, obviously, the winner is selected and the gifts are sent that way. If you're donating a book, you need to send them your ebook after that. You, depending again on the structure, may then receive from the person who is running the builder an email containing a file you can download and then upload to your newsletter with all the participants' emails, which is great. Others, depending again on the structure, you may have actually submitted, instead of waiting to receive a file, you may have, as in signing up, needed to provide a reader's magnet where interested people will sign up directly and get funneled directly into your newsletter, so then it kind of eliminates that middle step. So that's pretty cool too. So just know how the builders are functioning and what to expect. There are builders for other things outside of newsletters. You may notice, and when you're starting to research them, find some that are just for BookBub or maybe just for Facebook. Again, it never hurts to try to participate and see how well they work for you. But I've enjoyed them so far. Now, I guess the other things to mention today before I log off is where to find builders. Honestly, go on Facebook and search different Facebook groups, especially some for authors. There's so much information out there for people to connect with each other, and if you search the different groups, you may even find groups that are just dedicated for people who are participating in newsletter builders. So I suggest kind of checking Facebook out first and networking with other authors as you start meeting them. The other thing I want to mention is landing pages. Again, I kind of mentioned that early on. I'm not landing pages, sorry, apologies. A reader's magnet. Now, a reader's magnet takes the form of a kind of landing page. So a page where, like pop-up, or a page where you're sending people who are potentially interested in your newsletter. And on the page, it's usually very simple. It's maybe a picture of whatever you're going to gift them, maybe a little spiel about your newsletter and what, fun stuff they may be receiving in the future for being part of your newsletter. And then asking them to submit your email. That email will then go into your list of subscribers. So then going forward, they'll be contacted every time you send out an email or a newsletter. Landing pages are not actually hard to set up anymore. Some people use BookFunnel as their source for the landing pages. I use a combination. I have one for my website because a lot of websites offer that. Story Origin is really easy to figure out, and I actually have probably about 5 different readers magnets on there where each one I give something different. So again, with these readers magnets, you are more or less obligated to give something away, be it a short story all the way to like a full-length book. But you give something to get something. You're giving something to someone in exchange for a sign-up. So it's not really a bad idea. And for me, I do short stories. I don't have enough full-length content to give away a full-length book, but some authors do. But just depending on what you have, work within your limits. But I do suggest, regardless, look into some newsletter builders, see what you can get that way. That is my doorbell. So I'm going to cut this off right now. If you have any questions for me, post them in the comments below, message me on social media. If you like this, hit that like button, and until next time, Skål.